We're away for another overnight Saturday night weekend trip, not too far from where we live. We're back on the New South Wales mid-north coast and we're just out the town of Forster. Gonna take on the Mcbride'S beach track down there, camp down there for the night. Should be awesome. It's such an awesome spot down there. We got myself in the Navara, Shad in his cruiser and Dad in the MUX. Now when we planned this trip about a week ago, the rain was meant to stop on Thursday, but it rained all the way through till this morning. It is mostly clear sunny now, but had a lot of rain and the track is very wet, unfortunately. This is one of those tracks that is not too bad in the wet. You know, if it was got way worse than wet, we wouldn't go down. It definitely gets a bit harder in the wet, but there is still grip on the surface. It's very like rocky and dirt surface, but it's not like anything like that red clay or anything. But we're going to air down now and then start heading up. So there's one little hill you got to get up at the start, few holes, and then it'll be all downhill for us from there. There is the easy track and the hard track split about halfway down. We're not sure which one we'll take yet. We'll decide when we get down there. We'll see if we're up for the challenge of the hard one or not. Now I also have some brand new tyres. This will be my first off-roading trip in the new tyres. These are hand-cooked Dynapro mud terrain. So yeah, brand new mud tyres. Had the general grabbers before. They're all worn out. So I've gone to these. These were $270 a tyre and the 265 by 75 on a 16-inch rim. So I'm keen to see how they go today. I think I'm going to air down to about 15 all around. Different tyres handle different pressures, slightly different. On my general grabbers, about 15, 16 was good for this sort of track. Then on Dad's Toyos, he normally goes that little bit lower, maybe about 14. They're a bit harder. I'm just going to try 15 on these and then we'll see how we go from there. I'm just going to go one high. I'm going to stick to 16 because you can see they're already bagging out quite a lot at 16. These tyres seem maybe a little bit softer or something. I don't know. They bag out at 16. That's fairly bagged out. The track begins with a short little hill and a couple massive holes to contend with, but they've actually made a track around them now, so you can get around them if you want to. After that initial little hill, from here the track just descends all the way down to the beach. It's not actually that long, probably less than 1 kilometre long. Nice and slow on this initial descent. First gear low range and let the car idle down. You do need to brake a little, but no need for the clutch. After you come up that first little bit, you go on the track for maybe 100 metres and then you start dropping down. It's all the way down. This is the first bit here, all part of the main track. This bit's a little bit it's not too bad coming down, nice and slow, but then coming up, you know, it's just kind of real wombat holes, so it can be difficult to pick your line back up. Having a little bit of trouble because there's many four-wheel drives out here today, and we're having a bit of trouble getting past people coming past us. We're trying to film what's all happening. Quick overview of the four-wheel drives we're taking down on this track. Mine is a Nissan Navara MP300. The tyres are a 265 by 75 on a 16-inch rim, which is a little bit under 32-inch. It has a 30mm lift, no diff locks, just a rear limited slip diff. Shad is driving the 76 series Toyota Land Cruiser, 285 by 75 on 16-inch rims, which is about a 33-inch tyre, and he is twin diff locked and a 2-inch suspension lift, I think. And then finally, Dad's in the Isuzu MUX, same size tyres as mine, a little bit under 32-inch, and he has a 40mm lift, and meant to have traction control, but from our experience it does very little in that vehicle. We made it through that first main bit, and now we're at the two-way split. There we have the easy track down there and hard track down that way. I think we're going to go give the hard track a go. We're at this split here. We're trying to, 3 vehicles trying to get through and 2 vehicles trying to get up. One's stuck there and he parked in our way. We've kind of got all over the place here. But yeah, we'll sort our cars out and start heading down the hard one. This mud hole on the track has a nice firm base. Honestly, I can't imagine getting stuck there even if you tried. If you do want to head down the easier option once you get to the split, then it is a lot easier than the way we go. You got one initial rut tick and 10 with, and then after that you can pretty much do it in 2-wheel drive down to the bottom and back up to that section. But you're still going to have to always do that initial bit of the main track, which can be quite challenging, especially coming back up. These couple of big holes are actually not there last time we did the track. They've been chewed out in recent months, and an interesting obstacle to pick your line through. You can see there the wet surface causing that little bit of slip. We're continuing down this main hard track now, and like there's all tricky bits through it that you're navigating, but there's 2 main hard sections, and this is the first one here. You kind of got to come around the edge of those big rocks there, and you got to really watch your passenger side for damage and sliding into them. And then we come around the corner, then we got another hard bit, and then we're down to the beach. It's only a short track.
That's good, man. Just hold that line. Hang on. How you see that front corner there or not? It's all good. Hold that line. That's all nice and slow, nice and slow. If you can, just keep it straight for a bit. Yeah. Back wheel's just coming past that rock now. It's all good. Nice and slow still. Nice and slow. Just going to come up those rocks up in there. Slow. Beautiful evening, really, eh?
Yeah.
Be a choice tonight. Have a go at it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the day I've been waiting on.
Got heaps around at the moment.
Yeah, you got miles here. You're skidding off the edge of your new rock platform, you mate. So I want the big one
Just
now.
hold that line and just skid around it all. Yeah, it's all good.
Right.
Just go right and down a bit. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're all good now. Yeah. Yeah, you're past the worst of it.
Straighten up the lift, go slow.
Now I have done this track and these sections on my own and guided myself through them drama free, but definitely easier having someone there to guide you and a little bit of peace of mind knowing they're watching what's going on around your vehicle and can help pick your line through those obstacles.
Place, Malachi?
Yes. I do.
You know what it's called? Mcbride'S. Yeah.
Here's the last challenge before you arrive down onto the beach. You got a steep little drop down into a 90-degree left-hand turn and a couple of big rocks you got to guide yourself around, watch for panel damage, take it nice and slow. You do get into some reasonably awkward angles here. Yeah.
Nice and slow, eh? Got heaps of room here now, but just straight at that.
You can definitely see vehicle clearance is a factor on this track, and if you have much less than mine, things are going to start getting a little bit hard for you.
Yeah, keep coming straight.
Yeah. Just start coming around here a bit now.
Swing a little bit now. It's going to push you out.
Big on it. You're good at the back.
Yeah. Yeah. And once you're over, straighten up a little bit. Once you're over the top here. Yep, start. Yep. Straighten up a bit. That's that corner, alright?
Yeah, it's all good here. You've got 18 inches at the back.
It's the last bit of the track now. We're coming down the worst of the bit, and the beach is only 100 metres down through there. But this bit probably isn't even as bad as when we were here last time, a bit under a year ago. You just got to get around this rock here on the edge. You kind of got to swing right and come around. You just got to be a little bit careful of that there. And you're better off just coming and starting in that bit.
Yeah, in the ruts over there. Yeah, because that's what we were going to do. I thought you were going to do. Yeah, I'll stay right in the left.
Yeah, so you're all looking good so far. Yeah. Yeah. A little bit more that way. Yeah. Yeah, hold that. Is he right over there?
Yeah, you still got 300 mil here.
You're right on the edge here, just hold that line. Yeah, you're about to come down again. Yeah, a little bit. Just like come down here. Look at this guy. Is he alright over that side? Yeah. Yeah. Go left hand, yeah, left hand down. Made it down to the beach here. It's just such an amazing view. Like, you come out of this tough low range 4-wheel drive track and then you're just greeted with this view. Just amazing. It is a little bit windy today, but not too bad. A couple of other groups of campers down here. We're going to try and find a spot to ourselves somewhere, see how we go. It's only about 3:30, so we'll be able to settle in for the night. Should be good. Awesome fun coming down that track. Didn't really have any dramas. It was all good. You know, you get that little bit of slip in the wet, but not too much. Made it down onto the beach here and found a awesome camp spot to ourselves. There's a couple of groups out in the main area, but no one took this little side area. This is the same spot we camped at last time, so we snuck in here, and that way we're away from everyone else. Just got our own private little beach here. We're just all setting up now and finding our spots to camp. We're going to get the fire going. Such a good spot. Before I say my swag, I'll just show you this new sleeping bag. I got this by Crash Pad as well, the same brand as the swag. This is a new Crash Pad sleeping system. Before this, I just had like a cheap sleeping bag from Anaconda in the swag and an old Doona. So I finally got to upgrade. This is the sleep system. It has 7 options in one, which kind of makes it really good for all year round. It has like a summer and winter option. So when it first comes out of the bag, single sleeping bag, and this is rated to -10 degrees. This is a real warm one. It's got a heap of layers in there. And then option 2 is you unzip it, and then it becomes a double sleeping bag for your double swags. But then to make it further, you unzip this cover off, like pretty much unzip the whole thing in half. Comes apart, and then you have 1 sleeping bag and 2 sleeping bags, and they can be zipped back up together. And then you got 2 sleeping bags, which are rated to, I think it's +5, so these are 2 like summer ones. So you can have it all together and have a winter one, separate it, have 2 summer ones, or this is just like a really nice doona, just like a doona to go over everything. So it's awesome because you can use it for so many different conditions and all year round. There it is, all set up in there now. I just got the sleeping bags split up into two doonas basically. It's just gonna have 2 doonas over us tonight. Should be nice and warm and comfy. Everyone's kind of got their camp set up by their car. Shad's in a swag, I'm in a Kayano in a swag, and then Dad's in a swag over there. Get this fire going here soon and settle in.
Is true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle.
Awesome sunrise out there behind me this morning. It's only about 6:45. Got up nice and early to see it. The wind has dropped off a little bit. Such a beautiful place spot here. You just like, you're only 10 minutes from the town of Forster, that you feel like you're in a whole nother world. Like, you feel like you're ages away from anything. Shad and I were just comparing, because as I said, I got these soft shackles, which are the Ironman ones, after we used Shad's that time in that Catherine Hill Bay video, and I was showing them to him, and we were just saying how the different sizes, the Ironman ones are much bigger and that's much smaller, which, you know, whether or not that's a good or bad thing. These are rated to 17.5 kilos, 17,500 kilos. And what are those ones?
14.5.
14.5. There's not really much difference. No. And then what was the other thing you're going to show us?
So this now replaces the your pulley block or your snatch block.
Yeah, so that's for a double line pull.
Yeah, so you put that. You can only use this with a soft shackle though. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, can't put a bow shackle through that. So
yeah.
So this replaces a replaces a bow shackle and a snatch block. Feel how much lighter that is. Like, you imagine picking up a normal pulley block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because actually, I'll get mine out.
Alright.
So here's mine, that's an ARB one.
Yeah, that's what I had before, yeah.
And there's the size difference.
Yeah.
ARB snatch block. And what brand is this one?
Factor 55.
Factor 55. Same as your winch. We should have a look at that as well. Yeah, so then obviously your winch rope will come around and double line pull.
Yeah. So would you put your soft shackle through that still?
Yeah.
Yeah. You put
Well, I guess so.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about these ones. They have that sleeve there to protect the rope.
Yeah.
So that'd go there, but
Yeah.
you know, there's that and that.
Yeah.
Fair difference. But the other thing we're talking about is I also got this from Iron Man as well to replace the snatch strap, and this is a kinetic snatch strap. They're similar. Basically, you pay more for this, and what do you get in return? Well, you get smaller and lighter. So I've just got this little bag now. It comes in with, I've got rid of my hard shackles, I've got the soft shackles, I got this all in the bag. And the idea behind them is they have 30% stretch compared to your normal snatch straps, which have 20% stretch. So basically, you don't have as much shock load on vehicles when you get that pull. And they also have more recoil, like kinetic energy, to lift the vehicle up out. That is the idea behind them. I haven't used it yet, but I will use it. It's 9 o'clock, we're all just about packed up camp. Had a nice morning here, but the cloud did come over a bit. We thought it was going to rain for a minute, but then it seemed to split up. It's still a bit cloudy, but nice morning down here. And we're going to start heading up out of here. We're going to take on the hard track and see how we go. Hopefully it has dried a little bit overnight because we had wind through the night, so hopefully that wind kind of got up in there a bit. It's still going to be wet, but hopefully not quite as bad. I get a lot of questions about the track condition of McBride's Beach. How hard is it? How easy is it? Can I take this four-wheel drive down there? It's a very tricky question to answer because it really depends on what type of four-wheel drive you're driving, diff locks, size tyres, bar work, and how much four-wheel driving experience you've had. If you haven't had much and you come to this track, it's probably going to look pretty insane to you, but if you've had a fair bit of four-wheel driving experience, you got a decent four-wheel drive, then it's nothing too extreme. I'd probably recommend the mods the Navara and MUX has as a minimum to do it with reasonable comfort. Any less than that and things are going to start getting hard and risky for you in my view, and particularly bar work is important on this track. You can do it without it, but definitely are quite a few sections where you're getting very close to your vehicle and bar work can save you. This is that first section now, coming up around that first corner. So you come up that hill, up off the beach, you're up through the bush for, I don't know, 70, 60 metres, not far at all, and then you got this big hook around the corner here. But it's pretty wet in here, but as I said, this surface doesn't get too much worse when it's wet. A little bit of slip, but not too much. Shad and I both got there without any dramas. Dad's going to come up now. There's just a couple of like big rocks here you kind of got to avoid, but the track kind of seems to lead you and slip you in the right direction anyway.
Yeah. Come back a bit. See where our wheels were, just up here. Yeah, turn this way up.
Just go behind the tree.
This is like fire out there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. There's a second hard bit we're on now, coming up past these big boulders, and you got a few holes down there to contend with. But even though it's wet, as I said, there's still heaps of grip out here. You still a little bit of slip, you're still able to hold those lines you need to hold.
Get up the speed. Go 220. Yeah. Car's good. Oh God. There you go.
Imagine if this was like that red clay. You wouldn't be going anywhere.
You'd be going. Well, you would be going somewhere. You would be going to China.
Oh no, do you want me to come? I can't really see from up here. I'll come down and have a look.
People that way.
He's got that rear drivers in the hole now. Now tell him to go.
Turn back in this way.
Yeah, turn back in this way. Yeah, that's it. That way, that way.
Turn a bit right end down.
Yeah, a little bit right end
There
down.
you go, yeah.
I'll go back a bit.
You got that slider saving you there.
Yeah, do a right hand down. Come on, right hand down. Just go back half a foot. Yeah, go at that now with that lock. Yeah.
Where would you be without me? There'd be no entertainment.
A couple of reasons the MUX seems to struggle compared to the Navara. The first one being it doesn't have quite as much suspension travel, and the second one is the traction control system doesn't seem to do much at all. Compared to my car, you can see it working reasonably well on these couple of big holes here.
Turn. That's the line, eh?
Yeah, you got to get right up there.
Yeah.
You look at it and you think, no way, next thing he's up there.
I know, yeah. That traction control system or whatever he's got in his car, even it's look different, that all works good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Good car.
works better than that thing. Way better.
Much better than what thing?
My car.
Ah!
Yeah, we've seen and proved it time and time again.
Yeah.
And a bit more flex in that car, and that's where I get caught here, flex.
Yeah. I'll try that same line with you. And
I don't know if you're better off going straight up the gut through the lockers.
yeah, just come in there.
That's what I'd think.
Alright, we'll give that a go.
But
What's the worst can happen? Reverse back.
yeah, I think that's going to be the go for you, because rather than getting in all those twisted angles.
So a driver's side wheel in here?
Yeah, I'd just put your driver's side straight up this rock,
Yeah, alright.
and then that's
Up
going to
there.
lift that one, and then that's going to drop. Yeah,
Okay.
and because otherwise your rear leaf springs are going to get caught where I did.
Yeah, yep.
Go right hand down, see if you can move forward, just don't accelerate, just try and get off that rock again.
Keep going as you go forward, keep going right
Right
in.
hand down and forward. Yeah, that's it, you're coming up off it. Yeah.
All right in.
That's right, we'll just go from there, but you're up the rock now. Dad's just kind of fallen in the hole here on a bad angle, and he's sitting right on that rock, so I don't really want to go backwards, because you're going to start jamming his transfer case and everything on that rock there. But yeah, he nearly had it, and they just kind of turned in a little bit too early right at the end there, just the whole car fell down in there. But we're just going to have to do a winch from here, winch him up out. He can't really go backwards, he can't go forward, it's a bit of a bad angle. As soon as you turned, it just went bam in. So what's the setup there?
Tree trunk protector, which is just a strap, a small strap.
Is that
and
a
then,
3 metre one?
yeah,
So tree trunk protector, what's it through? The pin on your tow bar,
yeah,
not the tow ball.
nah, just through the pin,
Through the pin.
aiming and release pin, yeah. Soft
Onto
shackle.
a soft shackle, onto the winch. Yeah, you just hold that lock you're on.
Right, which is that lock's going where?
Forward. You're just straight.
Me wheels are straight.
I wouldn't be turning them yet because you're going to put too much stress on things.
Yep.
I'd just straight to up out of this hole. Just like the day before, there were a couple of other groups of four-wheel drivers on the track. Can be a bit hard to get past each other at times, but we seem to struck them at reasonably good places. At this point, the easy and hard track have linked back up again, and you are committed to the main track all the way up out of here now. Just lean your front locker in. What I love about the Mcbride's Beach track is it's a real challenge to your line picking skills. If you can pick your lines and know what you're doing, then you can navigate your way through those obstacles without too much drama. But if you're not too sure of your vehicles and lines, then you really are going to notice it. Not to say it becomes an easy drive with lockers, but they definitely do help, because you can head straight up the middle of those holes, lift those wheels and keep on going.
Left hand down. Keep going back like another foot and then we'll come forward. So we just want to try and go a little bit that way. Yeah, and then come at that. And then, I don't know, feel it as you come. Work with it. A little bit more that way. Yeah.
Now up to the final hill climb up out of here, which is quite a big one, a couple of big holes to contend there with as well. In my opinion, this is the hardest section of the track that you must do. You can do the easier section around the other challenging bits.
Lock those lockers straight back out as soon as like you have back out now?
I don't know. It looks like he's got only rear in at the moment. After seeing me struggle with the left-hand line, Dad decided to try a little bit of a different approach, knowing that he had that less suspension travel and that traction control issue.
Blow up down the bottom.
We all made it up the top.
And it was a bit wild, but it was still fun.
Yeah. Yeah, your car definitely like bounces a bit.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, springy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the old, just real hopping like.
Yeah, that was like just full on cushiony doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not all wrong altogether. Like when I contacted this mob, I said, I want suspension that doesn't hurt me back. I want you to go as light as you can.
Yeah.
And yet still do the trick.
Yeah.
And that's what I got, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
What is your suspension? Bilstein
Shocks, Dobinson springs.
Yes.
We're up out of the track, back in the car park now. We're going to air up and organise everything. Such a fun track coming up out of there. All got up out of there without too many dramas. As I said, even though it is wet, it's still not too bad. These holes at the beginning here are just massive now. But we've got a nice day now as well, but awesome fun. New tyres went good. I don't know, people always ask me how these tyres, you know, when I got these, people asked me how these compared to your general grabber. I don't know, tyre's a tyre. I think all these you know, all your top brand mud tyres, they're all good. I don't think there's huge amounts of differences. I'm sure there is differences, but I don't know. It went good, it's a tyre. But yeah, plenty of grip. Definitely more grip than the general grabber because it was so worn out. The other thing is what a massive difference these make on the main road, on the tar. A new mud tyre compared to a worn out one. Those general grabbers were like skates. They were so slippery on the main roads in the wet, whereas these have heaps of grip in the wet. Chad's also going to show us a new winch hook, Factor 55 winch hook. So that's magnetic, is that right? No, it just sits on there.
Yeah, it's just like
So I don't actually know what's the benefit of this.
So it's not a hook, it's a closed, so I can put the soft shackle straight through there. Yeah. And also what I like about it is it can be like how I had it. I don't have this big hook that has to be hooked under there.
Because we hooked ours up by rubber over to the side.
Yeah.
Because you have them hooked down there and then you get caught in mud or a rock step or something and you can't get your hook out.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's called a flat link, so it just sits flat like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's lighter, stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And will that still work with a hard shackle? Will the pin go through there?
A normal shackle.
Normal shackle will still work on that.
I have to,
Yeah. Made in USA.
Yeah.
And you got your new lights too.
Yeah.
Is that steady? Steady.
Steady. I don't know how you're saying.
They look good.
Yeah. Yeah. So these
Are they 9-inch bodies?
Or 8.5, I think, or something.
8.5.
Yeah.